What would life be like if you were living 100 years ago? How would you get to the shops, meet your friends at the picture shows, visit your sweetie, get to work? Most families didn't have their own automobile, and if it was too far to walk, what would you do? Simple. You'd hop on the trolley and you'd get wherever you needed to go quickly and safely. Did you ever think what it would be like to go back in time? To do the same kind of things that your grandparents or your great great grandparents did? Well, since we can't actually time travel yet, I think the next best thing is to go visit the Halton County Radial Railway in Milton, Ontario. Transportation is all about movement, right? So this museum isn't just a collection of artifacts that are sitting behind glass cases. No. This is actually a full-size operating railway, something that you can actually touch and get on and ride all day round. Now, this place is Canada's largest and Ontario's only operating electric railway museum. And although not every single person that you're going to meet here is a volunteer, almost everybody who's here is a volunteer. They all want to be here and they all want to answer your questions. Everybody is so friendly. So your day begins at Rockwood Station. This station was built by the Grand Trunk Railway in 1912 to serve the village of Rockwood. And in about 60 years, it served Grand Trunk, Canadian National, and even GO Transit. And when the station was closed in 1971, it was donated to the museum, and it's been here ever since.
See, here's where the wheel covers are. No.
They actually have quite an impressive roster in their collection. We're talking everything from motor buses to trolley coaches to miscellaneous work equipment. They have freight and passenger equipment. They have electric work equipment and freight locomotives. They got rapid transit. And don't forget suburban and interurban cars. And of course, they've got streetcars. And every time that you come, you can expect that you might be able to ride on something different. So that's part of the fun. Let's see what we can ride on today. Hi, I'm here at the Halton County Radial Museum. We have to check out what's running today. Now here's an interesting streetcar. This is number 327, and it was from the TTC. This one was built in 1893, and it was used in the city of Toronto until 1915, when cars that had side running boards were then banned in street operation. As you can see, they do run this streetcar here at the museum, just not that often, because it's kind of old and because it has narrow cast iron wheels, and so it requires slower speeds and a lot of care when you're driving it. So they use it for special occasions, but in 2001, this was actually used to lead the parade of vehicles for the TTC's 80th anniversary celebrations. This one was built by the Ottawa Car Company in 1923, and it operated on the Toronto Transit Commission. It ran the streets of the Big Smoke for 40 years, and then it was in storage for about 20 years, and then it was acquired by the museum. Fully restored, it's in beautiful condition, and it even has vintage advertisements inside. Come on, let's go take a ride. Hurry up, or our transfers won't be worth a wooden nickel. According to the time punched on our transfers, we were already 15 minutes late, and stopovers were strictly forbidden by the Toronto Transit Commission. My Uncle William worked for the TTC. Sometimes he was the conductor on the Yonge Street line, and if we were lucky enough to get on his car, we didn't have a thing to worry about. But if the conductor was a stranger, we could be in trouble. Once we got caught red-handed with late transfers and got put right off the streetcar in disgrace. But this time we boarded with the crowd, and the conductor was too busy to notice, so we got away scot-free. We settled ourselves on the circular seat at the back, and Mum handed me the box of nuts. All the way down Yonge Street we munched and chattered and gazed out the mud-streaked windows. And whenever the streetcar jerked to a stop, I went for a free slide around the shiny crescent seat.
Somebody said to me now, how would you ever get one of Toronto's brand new streetcars through here?
Oh, those articulated things are...
Because they're articulated, they're 5 inches. They'll go around a curve even narrower than that.
Wow.
Because there's 3 separate trucks underneath them. They bend in 4 places. They were designed for Europe. And if anybody's ever been to Europe or you've seen pictures of places like Amsterdam or Potsdam or Berlin, old Berlin, they're winding around streets that you couldn't believe.
Here is London and Port Stanley, number 8. It's built by the Jewett Car Company of Newark, Ohio in 1915. During the years prior to World War I, Ontario Hydro planned a number of high-speed electric railways, linking the principal cities to southern Ontario. In 1915, the L&PS was electrified to the standards planned for the network, as a demonstration to what was to come. But for various reasons, the main lines were never built. But the L&PS remained as a monument to hydro foresight. There he is.
Better to take, you know, you're best to have Lionel at the front of the Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Yeah, 1915 Gold Train technology.
Ah.
Fancy seeing you here.
Yeah.
I'm on board the London and Port Stanley, number 8.
Yeah. We know it's a smoking section. See the scratch plates for the old matches. So you would have had wooden matches way back when. And that's the difference between the seats. It's not first class, second class. It's because these seats, when they drop their ashes,
Okay, do you want him to stamp it? No?
When you take a budget, yes or no? Yeah, in the old days, I would come and ask for your ticket, I would punch it, then I know I checked you and you paid your train fare, you can go for a ride then.
Okay, thank you.
Yep,
I know the neighbors complain, but give it a good yank. Let it up.
twice.
Okay.
There you go. Now listen for the report.
Now he should reply too, and we're good to roll.
And if he doesn't,
Here are the brakes, the recycling brakes right now. There you go.
there you go.
Okay.
All right.
Ready to roll.
Rock and roll.
Even though it's over 100 years old, car number 8 is still in excellent structural condition, with no sagging or distortion. Why? Well, because it was built really, really heavy and really, really strong out of steel. And even though many interurbans were built this way, not many of them have survived. And that's because they were actually worth more money as scrap metal.
Quite impressive given this is more than 100 years old.
Sounds good. You got the magic touch.
Let's check the chalkboard outside of Rockwood Station to see what's leaving next. Oh, it's 4600 that used to work on the TTC. TTC number 4600 was built in 1951 and then had a rebuild in 1972, with a final rebuild in 1986. Car 4600 was actually the prototype for the Class A15 PCC rebuilding program of the late 80s. Originally numbered number 4505, car number 4600 was completely rebuilt by the TTC and outshopped in 1986. These cars were operated during rush hour service until December of 1995 when the entire fleet was retired, and this car was donated by the TTC to the museum in 1996.
Car. Oh.
Yeah. Well, they spent a lot of money in the last number of years replacing ties and tracks.
has been televised. It's only fun when the people that come out.
And if you're feeling like you need a little break, well, come on inside to the gift shop, because not only do they have souvenirs that you can buy, but they also have a little snack station where you can get some cold drinks or ice cream bars, chips, chocolate bars, hot dogs, or you can always get on one of the trolleys that are running, come out to the far end of the loop past the woods, and there, believe it or not, in the middle of nowhere is an ice cream shop. Now, I suppose that you could say that this video is long enough, but there's still so much more that I could show you from my visit. So I guess if I can't show it to you here, then you're just going to have to come down and see it for yourself. You should check out their website, where you can find out when their hours and days of operations are, and come on down to Milton. Come and see this wonderful operating museum.